Dawn and I entered the 2025 calendar year. We said, this is it. This is a murder trial year.
1 year, one Heartland County, 9 murder trials. Hear how prosecutors handled the record caseload and what victims' family members really experience when their case goes to trial. Boy, this year has proven to be highly unusual in Scott County. Following a COVID court shutdown and a violent 2-year period, prosecutors realized they had all these murder suspects set to go on trial in 2025. And behind each case, you have families who often find themselves on the witness stand. I spent the last several months tracking the effort to seek justice in Scott County on all 9 cases. Those involved will tell you it is not like TV or the movies. It is very real, it can be very scary, and the impact is life-altering.
The grieving process for me was very delayed. It took about a year for it to really sink in for me.
A full year for Corey Hahn to shake off the shock and realize her mother Carolyn was gone.
My mom was a very loving person. Her heart was full for anybody.
Fabian Larry was a 2023.
2023.
Fabian Larry, the man accused of killing Carolyn Hahn in 2023, became Scott County's first murder trial of 2025.
I knew that it was going to be a tough year, but then it just kept happening.
Scott County Prosecuting Attorney Don Cobb and Assistant Prosecutor Leslie Hall began an unprecedented year of murder trials, taking on each case as a team.
Around here, we're always doing about 3 murders at once. There's the murder that you're just about to try, then there's the murder that we're prepping, and then there's the murder down the road that we're trying to see what long-term issues happen.
We have a system.
Hall tells me it begins with her going back over all the evidence in a case, then creating a witness list they both review.
We try to streamline it. Who's the most important players here? Who do we need in order to get this piece of evidence in, because this piece of evidence satisfies a necessary element.
They also decide who will interview each witness.
I will make the decision usually to ask Dawn to do the direct examination of witnesses that deal a lot with ballistics.
I was a cop for 20 years, so obviously I have a deep knowledge on how that works.
I deal more with female victims, female witnesses, and then I usually do the closing, and then Dawn comes in with the rebuttal.
What about the trial process surprised you?
How many people had to testify?
Corey Hahn recalls being really impressed with the testimony of a Sikeston detective who showed the court how they tracked Fabian Larry's movements.
It was about a bunch of cell phone towers, basically how they connected his cell phone to being where it was at the time of my mom's murder.
She testified on the last day of the 4-day trial.
What was that like?
Terrifying. I was very, very anxious. I was very just laser focused on who was talking to me until the end. I looked out and I saw my dad and my aunt, and I just was very emotional.
Hahn found herself just feet away from Fabian Larry in this small courtroom when she heard the jury's verdict, guilty on all counts.
I immediately just felt relief. I felt happy, which was such a weird feeling to be feeling right then. And I cried for hours after. It was just relief.
In March, Cobb and Hall secured a guilty verdict against Caleb Ramsey for a deadly 2023 shooting at Sikeston's Rotary Park. In April, Kyle Johnson's murder trial came to an abrupt halt when Johnson entered an open guilty plea to second-degree murder. Both men received life sentences.
You made a pretty bride.
Yes.
Bonnie Terrell and her daughter Mary Morell found themselves at the center of the 4th murder trial on Scott County's calendar.
Humor encapsulated his life. We loved joking around. We loved finding humor in just daily life.
Bonnie's husband of 45 years, Mary's dad, Joe Terrell, was killed in April 2024.
Our lives are totally different than they were before and what we imagined.
The man going on trial for Joe's murder, Mary's former husband, Brian Morell.
The best turnaround we got was on the Brian Morell case.
Yeah.
because we tried that a little over a year after the murder had happened.
We were on the scene, so we were considered
witness.
Yeah.
And that meant both mother and daughter would testify.
I think it was easier having you and not being the only witness outside of law enforcement to go up to the stand.
You feel like there's a lot on your shoulders, especially if you're the only one, but knowing it's shared is helpful. The whole team for our side was especially helpful.
They made sure we were comfortable with what was going on.
After a 2-day trial, Mary and Bonnie would wait just 45 minutes for the guilty verdict.
We were relieved it came back quickly.
I can now stop advocating for my husband and just grieve for him.
Trial number 5 was set to happen in July, but just days before it started, defendant Cortez McGee pleaded guilty to second-degree murder. He is now serving a 25-year sentence. So that left 4 trials on the 2025 calendar, but none of them would go as expected. More on that after the break.